Remember this quote: "You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain."
Have you noticed that some of the internet's biggest heroes eventually become its biggest villains? Well, this time, the internet has turned on a man who once inspired millions, Nas Daily. Do you remember him? The guy in the black t-shirt racing against the clock to tell the world a powerful story in just 60 seconds. He became a global sensation, a symbol of optimism and connection. Often mentioned alongside names like Jay Shetty and Shane Dawson during the peak of YouTube's creator era. But somewhere along the way, the glow faded, and fast. Despite having over 13 million followers, his latest videos barely scratch a fraction of their former reach. Tens of thousands of views, maybe. A shadow of what once was. The man who once represented hope and unity is now accused of hypocrisy, cultural exploitation, and clout chasing. So what really happened? To understand the fall of Nas Daily, we need to rewind, way back to the beginning. Nasir Yassin, better known as Nas Daily, was born in Araba, a small town in Israel, to a Palestinian Muslim family. What at first seemed like just a small detail in his biography would later become the center of the biggest controversies of his life. At just 19, he earned a scholarship to Harvard University, where he studied aerospace engineering, a place where cold logic meets creative imagination. But Nas wasn't destined for rocket science. His true launch came in 2012 with a quirky little project called Operation Skyfall, first hamburger in space. Yes, he literally tied a hamburger to a weather balloon and sent it 30,000 meters up into the stratosphere. That video racked up 500,000 views in just 3 weeks, a massive number at the time. Fast forward 4 years, and Nas went all in on content creation. He boldly promised to post a new video every single day for 1,000 days, each one exactly 1 minute long. His energy was infectious. His smile was relentless, and people loved it. By 2019, he had over 12 million followers on Facebook, and when he transitioned to YouTube, his reputation as a global storyteller only grew stronger. But soon, cracks began to form in the perfect picture. It started with accusations of oversimplifying complex issues, of turning real struggles into bite-sized inspiration snacks. And then came the moment that would change everything. On October 14, 2023, as the Gaza conflict escalated, the world was glued to its screens. Hashtags calling for ceasefires flooded social media. Everyone was waiting to hear what a man of Palestinian descent who grew up in Israel would say about a war that was tearing apart his homeland and his heart. Nas posted a video titled, "My Israel and Palestine Explained." He spoke gently, calmly, calling for peace, for empathy, for understanding. But the reaction was not what he expected. For many, his neutrality wasn't admirable, it was infuriating. In moments of war, people don't want balance, they want justice. They want someone to speak for the wounded, not just ask everyone to listen to each other. The backlash was immediate. A Vietnamese viewer left a haunting comment, comparing the situation to Vietnam's fight for independence, saying that if their ancestors had just prayed for peace, they'd still be enslaved today. Then, like gasoline on fire, Nas tweeted, "I'm Israeli first, Palestinian second." For critics, that was the final straw, a public declaration that felt like taking sides. But just days later, viewers dug up an old clip where Nas was seen cursing Israel among friends, off camera. This contradiction, smiling peacemaker on screen, conflicted and frustrated off screen, shattered the trust many had left, and just like that, Nas lost both sides, but the storm didn't stop there. In July 2024, he posted another video, this one titled, "I studied Islam for 1 month and I lost all my hair." The title alone was enough to outrage Muslims worldwide. Shaving one's head is a sacred act, performed after Umrah, a symbol of purification and devotion. Turning that into clickbait? For many, it felt deeply disrespectful. Comments poured in, accusing him of trivializing faith, misrepresenting Islamic teachings, and turning religion into a marketing tool. One prominent Muslim creator, Smile to Jannah, posted a direct rebuttal, saying, "We don't shave our heads to make a point. We do it to follow the prophet, peace be upon him." That deserves respect. The video quickly became one of the most disliked on Nas's channel. And this wasn't the first time Nas was accused of exploiting culture for clicks. In 2021, he posted a widely loved video about Wang Od, the 103-year-old tattoo artist from the Philippines. The video celebrated her art and went viral. But then in the video's description, Nas announced that Wang Od was now officially teaching on Nas Academy. Soon after, her granddaughter went public, saying no such agreement was made, accusing Nas of using her grandmother's image without consent. In response, Nas released proof of a signed contract, claiming the family had agreed to the project. But then his PR misstep made things worse. He said, "40% of my company is Filipino, so for us, this is personal." That comment struck many as dismissive, like saying, "I have friends from that group, so I can't possibly be exploiting them." The backlash grew until the Philippine government's National Commission on Indigenous Peoples launched an investigation. The verdict? Consent from the entire community was required for such a project, not just one individual. Nas eventually sent a team back, renegotiated with the family, and reached a resolution. But the damage was done. The hashtag #unfollow Nas Daily trended, and he lost over 500,000 followers in just 3 days. Then came another accusation, this time from Louise Mabulo, the founder of a cacao farming project in the Philippines. She accused Nas of mocking Filipino accents, calling farmers boring and dismissing her work because it wasn't viral enough. Nas fired back, claiming her project was a scam. Other creators like Project Nightfall stepped in to defend him. But the situation left a bitter taste, and if that wasn't enough, in 2021 and 2022, Nas posted videos praising Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX and Changpeng Zhao of Binance as the most generous and the humblest crypto billionaires, without disclosing that these were paid promotions. Both of those crypto giants later collapsed in massive scandals, with Sam Bankman-Fried sentenced to 25 years in prison. And so we find Nas Daily today, still posting, still smiling, but now talking to a fraction of the audience he once had. His tweets barely crack 100 likes. His videos struggle to hit 6 figures in views. A comeback is still possible, but it would require him to completely rebrand, humble himself, and rebuild trust from the ground up. And judging by his track record, that's a transformation we may never see. Nas Daily has gone from a global storyteller to a cautionary tale. A reminder to every creator, the moment your ego becomes bigger than your mission, you've already started to fall. So what do you think? Was Nas always the villain, or did fame turn him into one?